Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 4 in season number 3 of the NOFSRL ARCA Racing Series, presented by Krispy Kreme. Here today at the Watkins Glen International, the first of 2 races here today on Napa Fan. We got the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125 right now, and then in an hour, we got ourselves the K&M 200 from Charlotte in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. So a loaded day of racing right here on Napa Fan. And we kick it all off with the road course of Watkins Glen in the ARCA Racing Series, the only road course of the season for these guys. But still a very important race throughout the season because the past 2 winners of this event have gone on to win the championship. Nick Smith in season 1 and Nathan Stapleton in season number 2. Will it happen again this year? Well, we'll have to find out as the season goes along after this race, and we know the winner of it. But either way, a lot of points at stake for these guys, especially those bonus points. And at a road course, it's very difficult to pass, so the guy who gets the win most likely also lead the most laps here today as well, so be a pretty good amount of points for whoever gets the victory here today. That's how they line up in the points standings. We're going to get them to roll off right there. Lauren Martinez is the points leader now coming into this event. 85 points for her. Ryan Kinghart and Derek Hamill are tied for second in the point standings, both 3 points behind. Nathan Stapleton comes into this race 5 points behind as the defending champion. And Fisher G, our last winner here in the ARCA Series, got the win at Michigan. It's only 6 points behind coming into this one. Nick Kennedy in the number 2 starts on the pole position. He's alongside the number 99 at Jonathan King. They got the fastest times in qualifying. And they're going to be the biggest threats to win this event here today. No question. Row number 2, we have ourselves the number 57 of Trey Wright. Almost forgot who it was who was starting in that position. It's Trey Wright in the number 57, alongside Matthew Phillips in the number 41. Jack Cabarrus in the 25 alongside Derek Hamill. Carter Friesen and Julio Cesar make up row number 4. Julius Anderson and Puji Yarmachuk in row number 5. Trying to figure out who won last year, make it official, and I am fairly sure it was Nathan Stapleton, and it was, so I am correct. The past 2 winners of this event have gone on to win the championship in that same season, so definitely a lot at stake for these guys, no question about it. You can see Nick Kennedy there. He's on the verge of his first career Napa Fan win, starting on the pole here at Watkins Glen. This is only his 4th ever Napa Fan start. And we saw Jonathan Logan get the win at South Boston a couple races ago. On only his 2nd ever start on Napa Fan. These guys all would love to get a victory early on in their careers. Definitely boost their careers on Napa Fan, no question about it. And with this race especially, it might boost their shot at the championship. We try to find where Lauren Martinez is, our points leader, by 3 points out of Ryan Kinghart and her teammate Derek Hamill. Martinez is kind of deep in the field back in there, as you can see, outside the top 20. Not exactly where you want to be. Nick Smith is in the field. He won this race in season 1. Nathan Stapleton as well won this last year. And they're ready to go. Nick Kennedy, Jonathan King, we're Green Flag Racing, and the only road course race of the season, the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125, is green, and already they're wrecking. Remember, on the road courses, there are no cautions. So if they wreck, and they're side by side. Heading in to turn number 1. Jonathan King with the run on the outside. He is miles ahead of Nick Kennedy now. And Matthew Phillips is right behind the 99, looking to draft and possibly steal it away. Nick Kennedy, Derek Hamill, Trey Wright side by side with Carter Friesen. That is for the 5th position. That's the first side-by-side battle on the field. This is the first time ever we have used the CTS physics at Watkins Glen. We really don't know what to expect in this race because of that. But these guys seem to be right on each other here on the first lap as Jonathan King holds on. Had a bit of a moment back in there. It was Marty Johnson, who didn't even get a qualifying time in, by the way. He failed to get around this place under speed at any point yesterday in qualifying, and he started last. He's already gained 2 positions from that. Either way, Jonathan King holds on to the lead right now, looking very strong for the number 99. Matthew Phillips, Nick Kennedy, Derek Hamill, Carter Friesen. They're all getting around Trey Wright now on the 57 on the outside. Jack Cabarrus to his outside. They're about to exit the boot. And this is not the NASCAR version of Watkins Glen, as of course you should probably know that by now. We've gone to this version for pretty much every series. Yeah, every series we've pretty much done. We've gone to this version of the racetrack, so you should probably be familiar with this place by now. But if not, we go to the booth, the long extended version of the course, and Matthew Phillips with a run to the inside of Jonathan King. King up the racetrack. Here comes Phillips, and Matthew Phillips will get the bonus point at the line right there. How about that? He started, I think, 4th for this race, and now he's the leader. What a topsy-turvy lap number 1, but with the CTS physics, they're going to stay a lot closer to each other than they used to. The downforce is a lot higher on these cars than they used to. We were racing GNS last year, and they were able to spread out a little bit more. Not the case here today, so Jonathan King staying right with them with Nick Kennedy, Derek Hamill, and Carter Friesen, the top 5. The good thing about that battle was Jonathan King did not overshoot that final corner. We see that happen very frequently when other series come here. Somebody gets the inside of you heading into that final corner. That outside car usually hits the outside wall. That did not happen there. King avoided the outside wall, but Phillips was still able to get by. But Phillips is not pulled away in any way, shape, or form. And even Nick Kennedy's still here. He did not get into turn number 1 on the first lap very well at all, which is why he's in 3rd right now. But he still has a great shot at victory, and here comes Jonathan King. He's looking to the inside of Matthew Phillips, trying to take it away. Both of these guys have a decent amount of experience on Appafan at this point. They might not be long extended veterans, but they're still veterans. They're not rookies anymore, and they're definitely showing that here today. A move right there to the inside for Jonathan King, trying to get it on Matthew Phillips. Phillips will have the inside this time. Friesen's trying to get it on Hamill back there for the 4th position. He's unable to do so right now. Nick Kennedy might get a run on Jonathan King here, but King's going to still be on the outside, entering NASCAR turn 6. He's going to go off just a little bit right there. Will he have the nose of the inside of Phillips entering turn 7? Yes, he will, but Phillips is going to overshoot it just a little bit. He tapped the outside wall, and at the stripe, Phillips will barely lead lap 2. But now, Jonathan King back to the inside, looking to take the lead away. Phillips is still out front. I'm trying to move ahead, and it's not Jonathan King in that position. What an amazing race here at Watkins Glen, and all these guys are still on each other. Nobody's pulling away right now. Kennedy, Hamill, Friesen, they're all still in this thing on lap 3 of 7. Here in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125. Jonathan King almost got around him. He's going to try entering the carousel, trying to get the draft down the backstretch. And there he goes. He's got the run to the inside of the 41. And he's going to take it away, or attempt to do so at least. Trying to get that inside lane. They're going to remain side by side as they enter the boot. Derek Hamill all over Nick Kennedy. Hamill is going to take 3rd away from the number 2, or at least attempt to do so. Phillips is going to stay to the inside and stay ahead of the 99. The battle's on for 3rd. Kennedy and Hamill. Derek Hamill, definitely a very tenacious driver, trying to work that outside lane. Not able to do so. He remains in the 4th position. Trey Wright to the inside of Carter Friesen. That is for the 5th position. And Wright's going to easily take it from the number 0. Jack Cabarrus, Julius Anderson are up here. Julio Cesar, Barto's up here in the number 18 alongside Andrew Miller. That's the first double wide battle in the field right now as Phillips remains out front. Jonathan King here in the number 99. Holding on the 2nd with Nick Kennedy right behind him. And for the first time, they're not going to have a side-by-side battle up the corner, but Phillips hit the wall, and there we go. Jonathan King will take it back. He overshot it just enough where he scraped it, and the 99 is going to drive right by him, take the lead away. Here comes Nick Kennedy. That is for the 2nd position. Kennedy started on the pole for this thing. He has yet to lead a lap. He wants to get those bonus points for doing so. Both Matthew Phillips and Jonathan King will get a bonus point for leading at least 1 lap in this race. But this time, Jonathan King's pulling away as Phillips is able to stay in 2nd and keep Kennedy behind him. Trey Wright in the 5th position. And Derek Hamill all over the back bumper of the number 2. It looks like Hamill's going to find a way to the inside, heading into the carousel, or at least attempt to do so. Kennedy blocked him as they entered. And Nick Kennedy trying to find a way around Matthew Phillips, but I think Phillips is still okay. Might have some cosmetic damage, but it's not enough to slow him down as he is right on the 99 still. I think he closed in a little bit down the back straightaway. I've never seen him this close before Watkins Glen, and like I said, the first time we've used the CTS physics here at Watkins Glen, the downforce is highly significant, and these guys aren't going as fast as the Cup cars do, so that's where a lot of it's coming in play. Derek Hamill trying to find a way around Nick Kennedy, unable to do so. He's been trying with Nick Kennedy for a long time now. Kennedy to the inside of Matthew Phillips. He's going to get it right there on the 41. Found it. Entering, I believe that is turn number 10. I don't feel like counting it right now. I think it's turn number 10, but I just can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm calling NASCAR turn 6 and NASCAR turn 7 by where they are on the NASCAR circuit. I forgot the numbers. There's so many numbers involved with this racetrack that I just can't remember them all. So please forgive me. They're going to be side by side once again. Phillips in another bad situation. Oh, Jonathan King hit the outside wall. And here comes Nick Kennedy. Still a little ways behind. 3 wide. Trey Wright to the inside of Derek Hamill and Matthew Phillips. And Wright's gonna take third, or attempt to do so. Not gonna happen. Phillips is gonna fall back to the 4th position. Derek Hamill will take third, and Kennedy's up to 2nd. Jonathan King is still out front, though, and look at this. The top 10 all nose to tail with 3 laps to go at Watkins Glen. I saw the number 54 back in there. Looks like he, along with Isaac Redmond, are out of this race so far. And there goes Hamill. Will he finally get around Nick Kennedy? To the inside, entering the carousel. Looks like he's going to get it. And he might find a way around Jonathan King. Phillips to the inside of the number 2. They're going to be side by side for third, entering the corner. Kennedy looking back to the inside of Hamill. Hamill was not able to completely clear him. Jonathan King remains out front. But Hamill in a tussle with Nick Kennedy for 2nd. We've seen Jonathan King. We've seen the leader make that mistake the past few laps where they overshot that final corner. With how close these guys are running, you cannot afford to make that mistake. You don't have a 2-second lead. All that cushion to get around, all that cushion to keep yourself from being passed if you overshoot the corner. I always do these races at the exact wrong time. I'm not mentally in the mood to do them. But I've got to tell you, this race has been pretty good. And I'm mentally in the mood to see what happens. Apologize about the narration today. A little off, but hey. We're all just here to have fun. It's going to be fun with Derek Hamill on the outside again. He is going to avoid the outside wall. That side-by-side battle is exactly what Jonathan King wants to see. 2 laps to go for the 99. Hamill will finally get around Nick Kennedy. Trey Wright's trying on Matthew Phillips. Phillips led the first 2 laps of this event. If Jonathan King leads the next lap, Jonathan King will get the bonus point for leading the most laps in this race. I can tell you, Kennedy did not want Hamill to get around him, and Kennedy is still stuck in the 3rd position. Kennedy's been in 3rd more than anybody else has been in any other position in this event. Jack Cabarrus looking around Trey Wright right there. Trying to find a way around for the 5th position. A great run for Cabarrus here today at Watkins Glen. Right to the inside of Friesen. It's actually for the 6th position right there, Cabarrus and Trey Wright. Carter Friesen holding on to the 5th position at the moment. Nick Kennedy trying to push Derek Hamill towards the back bumper of Jonathan King. Jonathan King holding on right now, but with what we've seen in this race, he is far from being safe. You see the damage to the left side of his race car. He's already overshot that final corner. And you never know who it's going to be when it happens. With how close these guys have been racing, I cannot tell you who's going to get it done. Nobody has really been a true dominant factor here today, and to be honest, I am highly surprised by the racing we've seen. But like I said, first time with the CTS physics, they have definitely been a lot closer to each other than they have been in past years at this racetrack. And look at this, Derek Hamill all over the back bumper of Jonathan King, coming to the white flag in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125. And Hamill might find a way to the inside of Jonathan King, and He will do so, entering NASCAR turn 7, and he's going to take it away. King in the outside wall, white flag for Derek Hamill at Watkins Glen. Nick Kennedy trying to take second from Jonathan King. Hamill wants to pull away from those guys, because if Hamill makes the same mistake Jonathan King did just right there, he's going to at least have that cushion, but it's very hard to keep that cushion around this racetrack. It's a very high-speed course. And that suck-up on these race cars is massive. And they're going to close right back in. But this is the biggest lead I've seen anyone have all race long. Jonathan King will still lead the most laps in this race, I do believe. So he will get that bonus point, but he is hitting himself right now for overshooting that corner. If he didn't do that, he would have remained side by side with Hamill. And there goes Kennedy. He's going to drive around there for the second position, or attempt to do so. This battle for second is going to allow Hamill to pull away even more. He is still not safe, however. So if he does overshoot that corner, it's very possible whoever's going to be in second, when they're coming to the checkered flag, could get to the inside of him. Nick Kennedy to the inside of Jonathan King. He really wants this second position. He wants to get this win. He wants to be in the bridesmaid position, or he doesn't want to be in the bridesmaid position, but he wants to be in the catbird seat. Don't ask me how I got those two things confused, but Nick Kennedy wants to be in that position to capitalize if Derek Hamill overshoots the final corner. But with how far Hamill is ahead, he doesn't need to take it fast, and he can take it very calmly and just pull away with this victory. And this will shoot Derek Hamill to the points lead as well. One more corner for Derek Hamill, and I think he's going to do it. Everybody else is just too far behind. A little wide, but he'll be fine. Just a little tap there on the outside wall. Derek Hamill wins the Like Effect Ice Cream 125 at Watkins Glen in a thrilling race here in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. That was one of the best Watkins Glen races I have ever done. And I did not expect it to be here today in the ARCA Series. The races in the ARCA Series here at this racetrack have traditionally been kind of meh, but this one surely was not. Lots of close battling for the win, and in the end, Derek Hamill with the strongest car, and hats off to him. I think he started outside the top 5 for this thing. Or maybe he did start 5th, but you know what? I don't know. I can't remember anything anymore. But still, Derek Hamill with the victory, and definitely a well-earned victory. That number 43, with the exception of hitting the outside wall at the end of the race, it's pretty clean. And that's why he's the winner. Matthew Phillips and Jonathan King were the other leaders of this race, but they both overshot that final corner as the leader. And that's why they finished where they did, unfortunately. Derek Hamill the winner, Nick Kennedy second. The pole sitter failed to lead a lap here today, but still a strong finish for him. Matthew Phillips, Jonathan King, Trey Wright, Carter Friesen, Jack Cabarrus, Julius Anderson, Julio Caesar, and Trey Bartow rounds out the top 10 here today. I think we only had 1 or 2 guys who failed to finish. Isaac Redmond in the 28 and Tuji Yarmachuk in the 54, but for the most part, it was actually a very clean race. These guys were going a little slower than what we're used to seeing. Of course, we had the IndyCar series here for their finales back in August, and those things go twice as fast as these guys, but still, very entertaining event here this afternoon. And we're not done with the racing today either. Truck series coming up in less than an hour, the K&N 200 at Charlotte. But what a way to begin this Friday afternoon. Derek Hamill, the winner at Watkins Glen, in just a solid, good race here, the Watkins Glen International. Next weekend, we head to Toledo for the Menards 200. We also have another doubleheader next weekend because the trucks are under the lights again at Texas. Toledo was won by Brad Stover, his first career victory, and we saw what he did over in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series last season, so we'll have to see how it all goes down. And like I said this too at the beginning of the show, this just came to my mind. The winner of this race has won the championship every season up to this point. Derek Hamill is going to be the points leader at the end of the day because of this win. You know what? You might be seeing a Derek Hamill winning this championship. That's all I got to say. We'll just have to see. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Apologize about the oddball announcing. You probably didn't notice it, but I do. Very, very, attentive to those kind of things. So, Yeah, it's probably nothing out of the ordinary for you, but I feel like I did something wrong. Who the heck cares? Derek Hamill won at Watkins Glen. Next weekend is Toledo. Later tonight, it's Charlotte for the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.
Hit the gray button.